Imagine for a moment that there's a secret most people over 60 have never been told. A secret that could completely transform the way you take care of your body as you age. For years, many of us have believed that walking every day is enough to stay strong and healthy. But the truth revealed by new science is far more surprising, and it has left even medical experts stunned. In 2024, researchers at the University of Copenhagen followed more than 8,000 adults over the age of 60 for 5 years. What they discovered was astonishing. Those who swapped their daily walking routine for 5 targeted exercises reduced their risk of falling by 73% and nearly doubled their overall strength, an 89% increase. The results were so striking that the study was repeated twice, and every time the findings held true. Even more shocking, the exercise group spent 40% less time working out compared to the walking group, yet their results were better across the board. Blood pressure improved 31% more. Joint pain dropped by 67%, while walkers saw only a 12% reduction. Bone density not only stopped declining, but actually increased, reversing the usual aging trend. But here's the detail that truly caught my attention. Among those 5 exercises, one single movement so simple that 94% of participants could do it right away without any training or equipment, boosted life expectancy markers by a pause's jaw-dropping 42%. According to Harvard Medical School, this movement activates something called mechanotransduction pathways. In plain English, it literally reprograms your cells to behave younger than they are. Once you understand this, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. To put it simply, this could mean the difference between walking tall and strong at 80 or relying on a cane by 70. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your age and where you're watching from. I personally read and reply to every single comment because this isn't just a video, it's a journey we're all taking together. And now, let's get started. These are the 5 golden exercises that can keep your body youthful, powerful, and moving with the energy of someone half your age. Exercise number 5, wall push-ups with hold. At first glance, it may look too easy to matter, but the science tells a different story. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that adults over 60 who practice wall push-ups with a short hold increased their upper body strength 34% more than those doing traditional exercises. Why is this such a big deal? After 60, the body loses about 3% of muscle mass every single year if we don't fight against it. And this isn't just about how you look. Losing upper body strength means struggling with daily tasks, carrying groceries, opening a jar, or catching yourself if you stumble. Wall push-ups with a hold directly train what physiologists call functional strength patterns, the same movements you use dozens of times every day without realizing it. Just a few minutes of this exercise done consistently can make your shoulders sturdier, your arms more reliable, and your chest stronger. More importantly, it gives you the confidence that your body is ready for whatever life throws at you. The wall push-up with a hold isn't just another simple movement. In fact, exercise physiologists classify it as one of the most powerful ways to train what's called functional strength patterns, the exact motions your body depends on dozens of times every single day. Think about pushing a door open, steadying yourself when you trip, or lifting something off a counter. These are the same motions this exercise strengthens. Here's how to do it right. Stand at about arm's length from a wall. Place both palms flat on the surface, lined up with your shoulders. Keep your feet close together or just slightly apart. Now lean forward slowly, lowering yourself until your nose almost touches the wall. This pause is where the real magic happens. Hold the position for 3 to 5 seconds and notice how your chest, shoulders, arms, and even your core light up with engagement. When you're ready, push yourself back with control. The secret isn't speed, it's rhythm. Take 2 seconds to lean in, hold for 3 to 5, and another 2 seconds to push away. This deliberate pacing creates what scientists call time under tension, a proven method that builds more strength in people over 60 than quick repetitive motions ever could. Start small, 5 reps is enough in the beginning, and gradually increase to 15 as your strength improves. The beauty of this movement lies in its flexibility. Too easy. Step your feet back to increase the angle. Too tough. Move a little closer to the wall until your body adjusts. A fascinating study from the University of British Columbia found that older adults who practiced wall push-ups with a hold 3 times a week for 12 weeks didn't just boost upper body strength by 41%, they also sharpened their reaction time by 23%. And that matters more than most people realize. A quicker reaction time is directly tied to fall prevention, one of the most critical factors for independence as we age. Why does this happen? Because the hold portion of the movement improves proprioception, your body's ability to sense its own position in space. This natural radar system is one of the first things to decline with age, and losing it is a major reason why falls become both more common and more dangerous past 60. Training it regularly through an exercise as simple as this can quite literally keep you standing tall and steady for years to come. Now that we've built strength in the upper body, let's shift our focus to a completely different but equally vital area of aging. Well, your legs. And don't be fooled just because the next move is done while sitting down doesn't mean it's easy. Exercise number 4 is the seated leg lift with resistance, and it has the power to transform the way you walk, climb stairs, and move through daily life. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine revealed something remarkable. Seniors who performed this exercise improved their walking speed by 28% and their stair climbing ability by a massive 45%. These aren't just numbers on a page. Walking speed itself is often called the 6th vital sign in medicine. Doctors rely on it as one of the most reliable predictors of overall health and longevity. The seated leg lift works by targeting your hip flexors and quadriceps while pulling your core into action for stability. Every time you take a step, rise from a chair, or climb a stair, these muscles fire together. Strengthening them with this simple move ensures that each of those daily actions becomes smoother, safer, and more powerful. Walking, while valuable, simply isn't enough to strengthen the specific muscles that protect mobility as we age. That's where the seated leg lift with resistance comes in. Done properly, it's one of the most effective ways to keep your legs strong and dependable. Here's how to perform it the right way. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet planted firmly on the floor. If you're just getting started, no equipment is needed. But as you progress, you can add light ankle weights or resistance bands for extra challenge. Now lift your right leg slowly, extending it forward until it's as straight as you comfortably can. The goal is to raise it until your thigh is parallel to the floor. Don't worry if you can't get that high at first. The key is control, not perfection. Hold at the top for a couple of seconds, then lower the leg gently without letting your foot touch the ground. That's 1 repetition. One crucial detail: press your lower back firmly against the chair throughout the move. This keeps the effort where it belongs on your hip flexors, quadriceps, and core while preventing you from cheating with momentum or straining your spine. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions on one leg before switching to the other. What makes this exercise especially powerful is the fact that you're training one side at a time. This method, known as unilateral training, forces each leg to pull its own weight. Training each side separately corrects those imbalances, restoring symmetry and balance to your body. To keep progressing, gradually add resistance every couple of weeks. Start small, a 1 or 2 pound ankle weight or a simple resistance band looped around your ankles. This gradual increase, what experts call progressive overload, is the secret to lasting results. And here's the truth that might surprise you. Research proves that muscles and bones respond to progressive overload at any age. The myth that you can't build strength after 60 is just that, a myth. In fact, older adults often show more dramatic improvements than younger people because they start from a lower baseline. Now that we've built strength in your legs, let's move to our third exercise, one that targets an area most routines completely ignore, but is absolutely vital for independence: your calves and ankles. Introducing the standing heel raise with a balance challenge. At first glance, it might look too easy, but appearances are deceiving. A groundbreaking study from the National Institute on Aging in 2023 found something remarkable. Calf strength turned out to be the single best predictor of whether adults over 60 would stay independent in the decade ahead. The numbers are staggering. Participants with strong calves were 71% less likely to need assisted living and had 64% fewer falls that led to injuries. Why? Because your calves are more than just muscles, they're your body's second heart. Weak calves mean sluggish circulation, swollen ankles, and a greater risk of blood clots. Strong calves, on the other hand, mean stability, resilience, and the freedom to keep living life on your own terms. To practice the standing heel raise with a balance challenge, position yourself behind a sturdy chair, Place your fingertips lightly on the backrest, just enough for security not to lean on. Now press firmly into the balls of your feet and lift your heels as high as you can, rising up tall onto your toes. Here's the secret that takes this exercise from helpful to life-changing. Once you're at the very top, hold that position for a steady 3 seconds. Keep your eyes focused straight ahead, not downward. This small adjustment engages your vestibular system, the delicate balance mechanism in your inner ear that naturally declines with age. By forcing it to work harder, you're actively training your body to maintain stability even as the years go by. When it's time to come down, don't rush. Take a slow 3 count to lower your heels back to the floor. That controlled lowering phase, known as eccentric movement, is where the real strength gains are built. Begin with 10 repetitions and gradually work toward 25. Once you can complete them confidently with minimal support from the chair, it's time to progress. Lift 1 foot off the ground and perform the raises on a single leg. This variation doubles the workload while dramatically increasing the balance challenge. Research from Japan's Longevity Research Center revealed that adults over 60 who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises had biological markers that resembled people 15 years younger. Their arteries were 43% more flexible compared to peers who couldn't complete the exercise, a remarkable sign of youthful cardiovascular health. But the benefits don't stop there. Every time you rise and lower your calves act as powerful pumps, squeezing the blood vessels and pushing circulation back toward your heart. This natural muscle pump mechanism sends more oxygen and nutrients throughout your entire body, from your organs to your brain. In fact, participants in long-term studies showed a 26% improvement in cognitive test scores after only 12 weeks, thanks to enhanced blood flow feeding the brain. Even more importantly, this move strengthens the exact muscles and tendons your body relies on to recover after a stumble. Imagine catching your toe on a rug. Your body's instinctive reaction is to push off your toes and regain balance. If your calves are weak, you can't generate enough force in time. By practicing heel raises with balance, you train both your muscles and your nervous system to work together, creating new neural pathways that improve coordination. MRI scans have even shown measurable increases in gray matter in areas of the brain responsible for movement control and spatial awareness. To maximize results, vary the speed of your heel raises. On 2 days each week, move deliberately. Rise up in 2 seconds, pause for a 3-second hold, then lower in 3 seconds. On another day, perform them more quickly, about 1 second up, 1 second down, while staying in control. This mix of tempos challenges your muscles in different ways and prevents your body from hitting a plateau. When done consistently, this deceptively simple exercise does more than just strengthen your calves. It sharpens your balance, protects your independence, and keeps both your body and mind feeling years younger than the calendar says. We're getting close to the very top of the list, and the next exercise might surprise you with just how powerful and practical it really is. Coming in at number 2 is the modified squat to chair. Now, before you start worrying about your knees, let me share something that could completely change the way you see this movement. In 2024, researchers analyzed 42 different studies with over 15,000 participants. What they discovered was stunning when performed correctly. Chair squats weren't just safe for people with knee concerns, they actually reduced knee pain by 58%. The word correctly is critical here, and I'll walk you through exactly how to do it right. Why does this exercise deserve the second spot? Because it activates more muscles at once than nearly any other move. Your glutes, quads, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles all fire together in perfect coordination. And that's important, especially after 60. Think about it, the simple act of sitting down and standing back up is something you repeat countless times every single day. It's such a basic motion, yet it's often one of the first abilities people begin to lose with age. And when you can't get up from a chair without using your arms or asking for help, your independence shrinks dramatically. Research has even shown that older adults unable to perform a basic sit-to-stand test without their arms had a 3 times higher mortality rate within just 5 years. That's how foundational this movement is to both health and freedom. Here's how to do the modified chair squat properly. Begin with a sturdy chair that places your knees at roughly 90 degrees when you sit down. Stand just in front of it, feet hip-width apart, with your toes angled slightly outward. This foot position matches the natural anatomy of your hips and helps reduce strain on your knees. Cross your arms over your chest or stretch them forward for balance. Then slowly begin to lower yourself, but don't think of it as bending your knees. Instead, imagine pushing your hips back first, almost as if you're closing a car door with your backside. This subtle hip hinge is the secret. It shifts the effort into your glutes, the largest and most powerful muscles in your body, instead of overloading your knees. Take about 3 seconds to descend. When your glutes lightly touch the chair, stop. Don't collapse onto the seat or let your muscles relax. That gentle touch ensures you're keeping the tension where it matters. Then immediately press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and rise back to standing in about 2 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Start with just 5 to 8 reps and slowly build your way up to 15 or even 20 as your strength improves. A groundbreaking trial from the Stanford Longevity Center had adults over 60 perform chair squats 3 times a week for only 6 weeks. The results were extraordinary. Participants improved their lower body power by nearly 50%. And here's the kicker. Power isn't just about strength. It's strength combined with speed, the very quality you rely on to prevent falls. Catch yourself from a stumble and move through life with energy and confidence. In other words, this simple movement isn't just building muscle, it's rewiring your body to stay quick, resilient, and independent. Power isn't the same as strength, it's strength combined with speed. And when it comes to aging, willpower may actually matter more. Why? Because it's what allows you to react quickly if you stumble, to rise from a chair with confidence and to move through life with energy and independence. In fact, research shows that older adults who improve their power also increase their walking speed by about 0.2 meters per second. At first, that number might sound insignificant, but in medical terms, that small boost can be the difference between living independently and relying on daily assistance. Even more fascinating, brain scans revealed that chair squats actually rewire the motor cortex, the very region responsible for movement. This means the exercise doesn't just strengthen your muscles, it reshapes your brain to move more efficiently. So how do you keep progressing once the standard chair squat feels comfortable? Here's the strategy backed by research. For the first couple of weeks, use a normal height chair. Once you can perform 15 reps with solid form, transition to a slightly lower surface such as a coffee table or ottoman. This deeper angle increases the range of motion and challenges your muscles even more. With time, you may not need a chair at all. Imagine squatting into the air, lowering yourself as if the chair were still behind you. Some people even progress further by holding light dumbbells while performing the movement. This extra resistance turns a great exercise into an exceptional one, layering on more strength, power, and stability. And now we've reached the exercise that sits at the very top of the list, the one researchers are calling a game changer for people over 60, the bird dog hold progression. At first glance, this move might look unusual, but don't let its simplicity fool you. The bird dog is unique because it targets virtually every major concern of aging in a single motion: core stability, balance, brain function, back health, and even bone density. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology went so far as to call it the most effective exercise for healthy aging, and the data more than backs it up. So what makes it so powerful? In the bird dog position, you extend one arm forward and the opposite leg backward while keeping your spine neutral. This diagonal pattern perfectly mirrors the way your body moves when you walk, climb, or run. By practicing it, you're reinforcing one of the most natural and essential movement patterns for human health. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Holding this position activates what neuroscientists call cross-lateral neural firing. That means your brain has to coordinate between its left and right hemispheres, constantly communicating to keep you steady. Studies from the Cleveland Clinic show that this kind of bilateral brain activity enhances memory, sharpens cognitive function, and even lowers dementia risk by 31%. Here's how to perform it correctly. Begin on all fours, placing your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips. Keep your spine neutral, don't let it arch or round. From here, slowly lift your right arm straight forward while extending your left leg straight back. Imagine a straight line running from your fingertips to your toes. The goal is to hold this position while keeping your hips level, your core tight, and your body completely stable. When you extend your opposite arm and leg in the bird dog position, the goal is to form one long, unbroken line from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. In the beginning, aim to hold this position for about 5 seconds on each side, paying close attention to keeping your hips square and resisting the urge to twist or rotate. Lower slowly, switch sides, and repeat. But what makes this movement so extraordinary isn't just the basic form. It's the progression system that turns it into a full-body brain-boosting powerhouse. Weeks 1, 2. Hold the position for 5 seconds per side. Do 5 controlled repetitions. Weeks 3, 4. Extend the hold to 10 seconds, teaching your body to maintain stability for longer stretches of time. Lift your extended arm and leg just an inch higher, then return to parallel without breaking form. This subtle motion recruits more muscle fibers and forces your stabilizers to fire like never before. Week 7, 8. Try it with your eyes closed. By removing visual cues, you force your body's proprioceptive system, your internal GPS for balance, to work harder. This deepens the training effect, building resilience in ways you'll feel in everyday life. The science behind these progressions is mind-blowing. At the Mayo Clinic, researchers tracked 500 adults over 60 for 2 years. Those who practiced bird dog exercises 4 times a week experienced results that almost sound too good to be true. Here's the statistic that stuns scientists. Most participants actually increased bone density in their hips and spine by 3.2%. To put that in perspective, the average person over 60 loses about 1% of bone density every year. These participants didn't just stop bone loss, they reversed nearly 4 years of aging. How does this happen? It all comes down to a process called mechanotransduction. When you hold the bird dog position, your body creates very specific mechanical forces on your muscles, bones, and connective tissues. These forces act like signals telling your cells we need to be stronger, and your body responds by literally rebuilding itself to handle the challenge. Studies confirm that the bird dog creates the perfect blend of tension and compression to trigger this rebuilding response. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery comes from German research on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt. Using advanced imaging, scientists watched what happens in the brain during bird dog exercises. They found that more regions lit up simultaneously than in any other exercise. Tested areas controlling balance, coordination, spatial awareness, and executive function all fired together. Even more incredible, after just 8 weeks of consistent practice, participants showed measurable growth in brain volume in these regions. Imagine that, actually generating new brain tissue at an age when most people are losing it. The bird dog also tackles a silent but critical problem that almost everyone over 60 faces: the loss of rotational stability. This is your body's ability to resist unwanted twisting, which is essential for protecting your spine and maintaining balance. Whether you're turning to grab something, carrying groceries on one side, or reaching behind you, rotational stability keeps you safe and steady. And no exercise trains it better than the bird dog. Think about how many times each day you twist, reach, or shift your weight, grabbing something from a shelf, carrying groceries on one side, or simply turning to look behind you. Every one of those movements relies on rotational stability. Lose it, and you put both your balance and your spine at risk. The bird dog is unmatched in training this exact ability because it constantly forces your body to resist unwanted rotation while you hold the extended position. To get the most out of it, focus on your breathing. Take long, steady breaths in through your nose, expanding your ribcage with each inhale. This breathing pattern wakes up the deepest layers of your core, stabilizing muscles most people don't even know they have. It also delivers more oxygen to your working muscles, allowing them to fire more efficiently. Many people make the mistake of holding their breath during hard exercises, but that actually backfires, raising blood pressure and reducing effectiveness. Controlled breathing transforms the bird dog. In fact, studies have shown that practicing this kind of mindful breathing during the hold can improve lung function by over 20% in older adults. And here's a powerful advanced tip: as you hold the position, imagine pushing your hand forward and your foot backward at the same time, as if you're trying to stretch your body longer. This creates a phenomenon called irradiation, a chain reaction where tension spreads throughout the entire body. Suddenly, your legs, arms, back, and even smaller stabilizers are all working together. Research proves that this one intentional adjustment can boost strength gains by as much as 40% compared to passively holding the pose. It's like flipping a switch that tells your whole body to rise to the challenge. And that's why the bird dog progression is considered the crown jewel of senior fitness. It perfectly illustrates why these 5 targeted exercises far outperform a simple walking routine. Walking is healthy, yes, and certainly better than doing nothing, but it doesn't push your body in all the ways it needs to stay young. These 5 moves, on the other hand, are designed to fight back against every major decline that comes with aging muscle, lost balance issues, weaker bones, slower reaction times, and even cognitive decline. Together, they build strength in multiple directions, sharpen coordination, boost brain function, improve bone density, and deepen the mind-body connection that lets you move through life with confidence. And the best part, you don't need hours in the gym. Just 20 to 25 minutes 3 or 4 times a week delivers results that blow traditional 1-hour walks out of the water. That's exactly what the Copenhagen study confirmed. Participants who followed these specific exercises spent only 75 minutes a week, training less than half the time the walking group put in. Yet in every single health marker, from strength to balance to longevity, the exercise group came out ahead. The truth is, success doesn't depend on perfection. It depends on progression. Start wherever you are today. Even if that means modifying the moves, cutting the reps, or holding for shorter times, your body will respond faster than you expect. Within just a few weeks, you'll notice changes you never thought possible. And remember this, it is never too late to begin. Studies have shown dramatic improvements in participants well into their 90s. Your body never loses its ability to adapt and grow stronger. It simply waits for the right signal. These 5 exercises are that signal. Now I want to hear from you. What's one daily activity that has become more difficult for you after 60 and that you'd love to regain with confidence? Be honest, how many minutes each week do you currently spend exercising? And what's the single biggest obstacle keeping you from staying consistent? Share your story with us in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Here's to strength, vitality, and the belief that no matter your age, you can build a body and a life that feels powerful again.